Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine on this Saturday morning, of course, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like, guys. Smash a like. Come on, you can do it, guys. It just takes a finger or a pinky or a thumb, whatever it is. Just smash a like, guys. It really does help the video progress and the channel, of course. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, let's get straight into it, guys. Look, you know what? Manchester United haven't even got Mbeumo and Gyokeres over the line yet. And we're already seeing the media onslaught in regards to Man United. Oh, why are they signing for Man United? They're only signing for Man United because we're giving them such and such amounts of money a week, etc., etc., etc. Cry me a bloody river. That's what I would say. Now, look. These players could have went anywhere. They could have went anywhere and they would have got the same amount of money, if not more money. I've heard some ridiculous things over the last 24 hours. What did I hear last night? What was it? Oh, Mbeumo only scores goals because he gets the ball. So he gets assists. So that's the only reason he scores goals. Well, duh. I mean, no ish, Sherlock. At the end of the day, obviously, people don't study the game. They don't really look into the game. They don't really research the game. Most of Mbeumo's goals have been almost self-made. You look at the goals he's scored over the last couple of years or so. They're almost been self-made. From the right-hand side. So, look, guys, there's always going to be this, and this is coming from so-called United fans. There's always going to be this pessimism in regards to the players that we sign because it's not your favorite player. You know what I mean? And I wanted this player. I wanted that player. So I'm going to slander this player that we're signing, etc., etc., etc. It is quite hilarious, guys, but it is what you have to. It does come with a package, should I say, in regards to supporting this football club. I mean, I've witnessed so many times over the years supporting Manchester United. I'm not a proper fan. I'm a Londoner, a London Red, a Cockney Red, whatever you say, Man United they got the referees in their pocket. Alex Ferguson with his clock and blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all before, but you know what we do, what I feel like is that this is beautiful because I like this about it. I love the fact that we're upsetting our rivals again. I don't know about you, but I just feel this sense, this is more like it. This is more like it. They're getting upset. They're getting annoyed. Look, no one says that these players are going to come into Manchester United and absolutely tear it down. You could bring in the best players in the world. You might bring in Lamine Yamal. He might not tear it down at Manchester United. You never know. Nothing is a given in football. It's at the end of the day, we don't know. But one thing you can do is buy players that give you a bigger chance, a greater chance of success. And that is what it is. Otherwise, you might as well just not sign anyone, right? Because you're going to upset someone anyway, isn't it? So that's what I would say about that. Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's read some. So big up, Randall. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Randall. Big up, Mark. What's going on? Good morning, chats. Good morning, Mark. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Randall, I'll get into the striker situation in a bit. Big up, Anvish. What's going on? Big up. Bless you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Tyborg, the legend Tyborg. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. The meltdown of rival fans because of Cunha and Mbeumo and possibly Gyokeres is hilarious. Enjoying every minute. I am as well, Tyborg. It is hilarious. It's the contradictions that are coming out. I even saw Inter Milan fan talking about, I wonder why Mbeumo went to Man United with cash signs and things like that. I like, mate, he could have went to Newcastle. He could have went to Arsenal and got the same amount of money. I don't know, or even more. I don't know. They're just clutching at straws here, isn't it? I mean, if people don't know the reason why players sign for Manchester United, they're either blind, deaf, or unaware, about Manchester United, or they're hating. It's just four possibilities I could think of. 4 possibilities that could possibly be the case. That or they're hating on Manchester United. That's what I would say. Absolutely. Anvish. So look at that with a black t-shirt, back shirt, big up, back sweater. It's a sweater. I can't believe I'm wearing a sweater, Anvish, in the UAE, but you know how it is. It's the only thing I could pluck out of my cupboard. But yeah, thank you so much, my guy. Big up. Sal, did you see the reports that Jonathan David has preferred Man United, PSG, Barca, but he wasn't Premier League and Man United move, but he wants a Premier League and a Man United move? Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. But one thing that concerns me is that the lack of interest. I haven't heard much about Jonathan David over the last few weeks, especially the fact that given he's a free transfer as well, which is it's quite interesting. Look, you know what? I don't mind Jonathan David, but I much prefer Gyokeres or Osman. Absolutely, yeah, I much prefer that. Someone who is actually proven like scoring goals. I mean, I know that Jonathan David scores goals, but there's something about Jonathan David that obviously no one fancies. So there could be a number of things, but you know what? At the end of the day, if we don't get Gyokeres, if we don't get Osman, then obviously we're going to be looking at the likes of Jonathan Davies and players of that ilk, of course. Speaking of strikers, scouts were spotted at St. Etienne's game. Lucas Stassin, the Belgian international, 28 games, 12 goals for his team. Of course, St. Etienne, 12 goals in 28 appearances. Not too bad, to be honest with you. When you're looking at Sesko, he's got 13 goals in 33 appearances. You look at Lucas Stassin, he's got 12 goals in 28 appearances. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old, Mr. Stassin. So scouts were spotted watching Lucas Stassin, of course, a number of times last season. It has been said the 20-year-old under-21 Belgium international, 9 caps for Belgium under-21, 2 goals, St. Etienne player, will cost around 18 million euros. Now, a lot of people are interested in Mr. Stassin, of course. No surprise there. The likes of Sporting Lisbon, West Ham United, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leipzig, Marseille, Reims, Paris FC, Lille, are interested in Stassin. No surprise there, of course. But Manchester United are aware of Stassin. He can play as an attacking midfielder and a centre forward. He is 18 million euros he is valued at. So that is interesting there. Lucas Stassin, obviously, is a target for Manchester United. But a lot of these transfers that are going to be occurring at Man United won't be happening this season. A lot of transfers will be happening later on, next year probably, next window after. And we will be looking at players on a free transfer. Lots of players' contracts are running out as well, you know. So we're not going to get all the business done this summer. But it is imperative that Man United get a striker, in my opinion. If we can get a Gyokeres, obviously we've got Mbeumo and Cunha. We can get a Gyokeres in there. I think that really, really sets us up nicely for the league. We do need a midfielder. We really do. It is very important that Man United get a midfielder. That goes without saying. We need a Wharton, we need an Edison, someone like that, a Baleba, someone like that we, you know what, can bring that ball forward, a little bit of energy in there. Because I do think that we're lacking severely with energy in the midfield. If we can sort that bit out, that'd be fantastic. If we could get the striker area sorted out with the midfielder, absolutely fantastic. That would be Cunha, Mbeumo, Gyokeres, and let's say a Wharton or a Baleba or a Edison. If we got something like that, 4 players in like that, then you can look at it and say, well, great. I know we need a goalkeeper. I know we need a wing back. I know we most likely need another centre back. But what I'm talking about, the basis of creating a team that can be competitive next season. That will be it, in my opinion, guys. Absolutely. Pearl, big up, Pearl. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We know we might not straight away finish top 4, but top 6 should be achievable if we go. So I think we're going to finish higher than that. I think we're going to finish in the top 4. Anvish, remember this here, Anvish. Remember these words. Remember the words of Uncle Sal. Right? We are going to finish in the top 4 next season. We're going to finish in the top 4 if we get these transfers over the line. If we get these transfers over the line. This is what makes me laugh even more, is that a lot, and Mbeumo and Gyokeres are not even signed on a dotted line. They're not even through the door yet. And we got the hate. It's already hating. It really is hilarious. You couldn't picture it at the end of the day. Well, I could, but you know what? Typical, isn't it? Tyberg, people are writing us off a long time, but in the last 5 years, we have more trophies than Newcastle, Arsenal, Spurs combined. We wouldn't attract huge players. Standards, guys. Even Thierry Henry, the great Thierry Henry of Arsenal, you know, the legend of Thierry Henry is slating Arsenal for Man United having 5 finals in 5 years. Where is Arsenal's final? The Man United everyone laughs at, you know, our period of the time when everyone laughs at us is other teams like basically glory years. You look at Newcastle United, they've won their first League Cup in 100 years. You know, look how much they're celebrating. Look how arrogant they're getting, egotistical over a League Cup. You see what I mean? So at the end of the day, Man United, our week period, right? In this last 10 years, we've won 2 FA Cups, right? We've won 2 League Cups. We've won a Europa League. We've been to 2 Europa League finals, you know. That to some teams is their golden era. You know what I mean? I know we need to challenge for the league. You know, no one needs to tell me what we need that we don't need to challenge. Of course, we need. That is our bread and butter that we need to challenge for the league. Now, interest in regards to Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund has been gaining the interest of Internazionale, Inter Milan, of course, in regards to a move to the San Siro this summer. Now, reports circulated yesterday that a £40 million euro offer plus incentives was put on the table for Rasmus Hojlund. Now, this is very interesting. Whether that's true or not, the interest around Rasmus Hojlund is starting to circulate, and that is good if you're a person who wants to sell Rasmus Hojlund. That is a good news at the end of the day. But Rasmus Hojlund, of course, has not set the world alight last season. Partly not his fault. I know that. Being thrown into the deep end in regards to being made the main number 9 at Man United, you know, a team that can't score goals. It's incredibly difficult, you know, and I don't blame him. He's a young player. I don't blame him. But would you accept the offer for Rasmus Hojlund? If it was 40 million, would you accept the offer for Rasmus Hojlund? Would you sell Rasmus Hojlund? Now, look, a lot of people are going to say no. A lot of people are going to say yes, snap your hand off. You know, what I would say is that, look, you know, Man United are extremely short on defenders, strikers, should I say, excuse me. Man United are extremely short on strikers. So we need strikers through the door. We need strikers through the door. Absolutely. So if we get rid of Rasmus Hojlund, who we got? We got Cheeto. That's great. There was rumors about Cheeto yesterday, about a number of clubs going after Cheeto on loan, you know. I don't know. I mean, there was one rumor stating that a team want to buy Gio Obi Martin. They want to buy him. No, not buy him. A loan is just about enough. We can loan him out, get him some experience, get him some strength and experience in regards to scoring goals and getting first team football. That would be fantastic. But what I would say, selling Gio Obi Martin, you know, if we sell Garnacho, you know, we're not going to sell Gio Obi Martin. You know, I think he's incredibly talented, which is why a lot of teams wanted him last season. But in regards to Rasmus Hojlund, it is unfortunate what happened last season. No, I haven't completely thrown in the towel with Rasmus. I haven't. You know, he does frustrate me. I was annoyed last season. I was let down last season a lot, not only by Rasmus, by the whole team, of course, because, you know, losing to Tottenham Hotspur in the final, that Tottenham Hotspur team was incredibly hurtful in regards to being a Manchester United fan. It was incredibly painful because we shouldn't even lose to Tottenham, let alone losing to a weakened Tottenham. But what I would say is Inter Milan come in with a £40 million euro offer. Would that be sufficient for you? Would that be enough for you? Would you take that money? You know, considering if we sign Gyokeres, you know, would you get rid of him and keep Cheeto as a backup striker? That's what I probably do. And let's not forget about Musa as well, because Musa's, is absolutely tearing it apart in the youth. So he's another player that we can get. Obviously, Musa's played with Lamine Yamal, hasn't he? You know, so let's have a wait and see. Kenny, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Brango, dagger, absolutely. Didn't Mbeumo score a few goals last night? Didn't he? I think. Michael, good morning, Sal. Amram will make this cup gaze again. We are Man United, deserve the better players all around the world. Big up, Michael. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. I agree with you every step of the way, my guy. Absolutely. Big up. Absolutely. Anvish. Mbeumo deal done today, Sal. What do you predict? I think it will be done by the end of the week. I definitely think that. I think Saturday's a difficult one. Sunday's also difficult, but don't be surprised if we get a here we go in regards to Fabrizio Romano. Hopefully we will. It is very close at the moment. Man United just finalising the finer details of the deal in regards to with Brentford. The personal terms already accepted. The player wants to come. Everything is all set in place for Manchester United to get Mbeumo. And then once we get Mbeumo, we can rest a bit. And then we can go into the 16th of June and try and get Gyokeres. And that's what I would do. And then obviously, I mean, the only problem I have with Manchester United is that we don't do 2 deals at once. We always over the years have done 1 deal at a time. And that's a little bit disappointing. I want to see a world where we can do 2-3 deals at a time, considering the amount of people we got working on our department in regards to that. But there is a here we go imminent. Guys, there is a here we go imminent, and Mbeumo will be signing for Man United, barring an absolute catastrophe in regards to negotiations. Unless, obviously, as I said yesterday, Brentford dig their heels in. But it's very hard to dig your heels in when the player wants to leave. It is not in their best interest to keep a player that wants to leave. And business-wise, everything. Brentford need the money. Brentford take the money. He will be replaced, and we move on at the end of the day. And hopefully we get Mbeumo through the door, of course. But we have seen a lot of negativity spreading around. And I don't like that in regards to a player that hasn't even put pen to paper on a deal yet, right? A player that is quite obviously a fantastic player. You don't score 20 goals in the Premier League if you're a poor player, right? Just like Cunha, you don't score 15 goals for Wolverhampton Wanderers if you are a poor player. You know what I mean? In the Premier League, it just doesn't work out that way, does it? You have to have something about you, something special. And I know when I was watching Brentford, every time we see Brentford play, every time they play against Manchester United in particular in Brentford, it is always a problem. And Mbeumo always gives us problems. So that's a big thorn out of our side, of course. Absolutely. Natty, good morning. Is there any midfielder we are looking at now? There's a lot of midfielders Man United are looking at currently in regards to that. Wharton is one of them that are right high up on the list. Ederson is there, but Ederson obviously is gaining the interest of Saudi Arabia. So that is a very, very important thing. Baleba is another player that we are looking at the moment. Of course, Man United are looking at players all around Europe at the moment. There has been scouts spotted at various games. For example, the striker Lucas Stassin at Saint Etienne. Man United, Wilcox is working overtime. We're finding the right players to come into the football club, trying to persuade different young players to come into the football club. What I would say is that at the moment, Man United have Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, Collier. They have also as well, and they also have Kone. Kone is also very, very talented and played very well in the friendlies which passed against Hong Kong and Asian All-Stars, of course. So we have to look at our youth as well. But the primary targets of Manchester United are Wharton. Man United are desperate to get that deal. And, of course, Ederson, which Man United are also desperate to do that deal. But as Ruben Amorim said, Manchester United won't get everything done this window. Everything won't be done. But what I would say to Ruben Amorim and what I would say to Ineos and stuff like that, if we can get Gyokeres, Cunha and Mbeumo, right, that would be a very, very good start. That would be a very, very good start. And, of course, we might sign one or two more players. If we can get a good midfielder in there as well, even if it's just 4 players we sign, I know we need 6 or 7, but if we get Mbeumo, Cunha, Gyokeres, and let's say Wharton, for example, I think that Man United will be a completely different animal last season. As I said, I've said it many times, right? I've said it many times. In football, you don't deal with absolutes in football. Football's a very strange game where you can get one player, right? And one player can change your whole fortunes. It does happen. It really does. One player can change your whole fortunes. Whether that be a goalkeeper, an attacking midfielder, a striker. Robin van Persie won us the league. Almost single-handedly. When you look back at it, almost single-handedly, he won us the league, that could be it. But so if Man United sign 4 players like that, we've already got Cunha through the door, and Mbeumo looks likely, Gyokeres, and a midfielder, a good midfielder, I think we're going to see a completely different Man United team, because at the end of the day, you're going to see, remember Bruno, we still got Bruno as well. So at the end of the day, what we need to understand is that great players around make other players play good, If we got good players around, they're going to encourage the other players to play better, including the wing backs, including the defense, including the defenders, for example, the back 3 would be more inclined to come forward when they've got good players in front of them, you know what I mean? And things like that. So the whole vibe of the team would change. Maybe even Onana would change. Who knows? Maybe he might change and start getting more confident and get those mistakes out of them. Remember I told you about Lucas Stassin? Yes, I mentioned him last summer, Leeson, in August. I know about him already. Good player, 20 years old, very, very capable. But Manchester United are scouting Mr. Stassin, and they've been looking at him since August. They're carrying on looking at him, which is the key. The key is that they've been scouting him all season. Speaking to my colleagues in France, they've said that Man United are interested in Lucas Stassin, but it might not happen this season. It could happen next season. Man United are looking to get in a recognised, proven striker at the moment. Stassin doesn't fit that bill, and also Man United believe in their youth team in regards to Tito Obi Martin and obviously Musa as well. So we'll have to wait and see that. Big up, Leeson. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We need a proven striker, not try and error striker this season. Yes, we do, Michael. And I think that's what we're looking at the moment. And don't be surprised if Man United do get a proven striker through the door. Of course, like many people will like, if we don't get Gyokeres, we don't get Osman, if we don't get one of those two, we're going to be looking at the likes of Mitrovic and that. Now, guys, I know a lot of people are throwing this Mitrovic thing at me, that Mitrovic is rubbish. He's not. He's a very good player. The only problem with Mitrovic is the attitude, but I don't mind that. So it reminds me of Tevez a little bit. So, look, you know what? At the end of the day, look, Man United are looking for an experienced striker. They are. It's pretty obvious that what we're doing. Hopefully we get our first choices. And Mbeumo deal gets done anytime now. It could be here we go. It could come through even in this stream. It could be Fabrizio Romano. Here we go in Mbeumo, and that is it. You know, we move on to the next, and that'd be fantastic. And I will be live, of course, guys. But then we're going to be looking at a striker, and Man United are looking at a proven striker. They are going back to the mold of what Alex Ferguson used to do. Alex Ferguson used to bring in experienced strikers, didn't he? You know, he rarely brought in inexperienced. He did bring in a couple of young players, Rooney, but these players were obviously generational players at Manchester United, of course. Absolutely. Anvish. Well, in UAE at the end of April on a trip, loved it there. Absolutely. Next time we'll try to find Sal there. Big up, my friend. Let me know when you're here, my friend. And also try and convince him to King to buy Man United. Big up, Anvish. I don't think they're going to buy Man United. They got Man City, haven't they? Yeah, maybe Qatar, but definitely not at UAE, Abu Dhabi, where I am. You know, I am in Manchester City territory, of course, guys. Absolutely. Even though you won't see a Man City shirt as long as you walk. Definitely. But yeah, definitely. Whenever you're here, guys, whoever's here, just give me a shout and yeah, definitely get a coffee. Coco, big up. Next season, looking legit. Absolutely, brother. Let's hope. Let's keep our feet on the ground and let's hope that we do get these deals through the door. Of course, Manchester United do need to get rid of players. Rashford is digging his heels in. Anthony, who knows what's going to happen with Anthony? Although there are some interest in Anthony, a lot of interest actually in Anthony. You know, we've got interest in Rasmus Hojlund at the moment. You know, Sancho is the one. As I've always said, I've repeated it on here. Sancho is the one that's going to cause a difficulty in getting rid of. We're going to find it hard to get rid of Sancho. You know, a lot of teams have, not only in regards to his wages, a lot of teams have been put off by his attitude. This is what I'm hearing. A lot of teams have been put off by his attitude. They said that he's got an awful attitude and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Well, there you go. Proof's in the pudding, isn't it? At the end of the day, people know about it. You know, the more you do it at the end of the day. Lamine Kamara is a good young option for midfield position, by the way, from Monaco. Yeah, mentioned him many times on the show. Cheap as compared to Wharton and Baleba. He would be, although Baleba and Wharton, the reason they're expensive is because they are Premier League proven. I'm not saying that Kamara won't come in and tear it up. Absolutely not. Kamara is a fantastic player. At the moment, it's gone a little bit quiet in regards to Kamara, but I'm going to ring up a couple of people and I'm going to find out what's going on, because I hope that Man United can do deals like that. I hope Man United can bring in a Kamara. It would be absolutely fantastic. You know, we are, I do know that Man United are aware of Kamara, but they are looking for Premier League experience. But I do think he will be going to a big club definitely in the future, and hopefully we can pick up on that deal. Of course, absolutely. Big up, Daniel. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Loving it. Sal, I told you, Favid. What's that? Favid. Loving it. Spurs have what's that? Spurs have a final in 5 years. Have more final in 5 years than who? Than who? Not than Man United. Newcastle have also 2 finals in 5 years. Yeah, and Man United beat them once, and they lost to Liverpool. Spurs don't have more finals than Man United in 5 years, but Daniel, definitely not. Sal, do you believe 21 is coming? Yes, Natty. You have to believe, because if we don't believe, Natty, why are we here? You know, we have to believe that 21 is coming. You know, it may not happen next season. It might not even happen the season after. I am actually quite zealous, maybe the overly zealous, some people may say, but I do believe that Man United will be back and Man United will win the title again, and we will be lifting number 21. Believe it. If anything is going to inspire Manchester United, it is the Scousers next door. Man United need to look at that and say, look, we've lost our record. We lost our treble, right? Even though our treble was better, Man City won a treble. And what did we hold on to? The league title. Now we haven't got the league title anymore. It's level with Liverpool. So we got to make sure it doesn't happen again. We really do. And I would imprint this in the Manchester United brains, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. Some undercover ops who pretend to be United fans say that Gyokeres is crap and all that. It's annoying. He hasn't even signed yet. I mean, I like to think, Keddy, I would love to think if Gyokeres is crap, right? Apparently, then what's Sesko then? Because he's only scored 13 goals this season in Bundesliga. What's he then? You know, what's Jackson of Chelsea? How good is he? What about Liam Delap, who only scored 12 goals last season? Gyokeres is the bright spark in European football. It's a bit like Haaland or Man City. Many people were saying before Haaland signed for Man City, even though he should have signed for Man United, thanks to bloody whatever happened there. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was manager and stuff. We even took him around the ground. But anyway, when Haaland was scoring goals at Borussia Dortmund, none of us were saying at Man United anyway that it's a farmers league. He's scoring in the Bundesliga. He's not going to transfer it. Well, some people were say he's not going to transfer it to the Premier League. Blah 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 blah. And look what happened. He transferred it into Premier League. When you look at goals, right? When you look at statistics, if the statistics are overwhelming like they are with Gyokeres, I mean, in like 49 goals. I mean, did all these goals come off his backside or something by accident? You know what I mean? And look at his assist as well. These people, they don't understand. They cannot cloud their hatred. It's so obvious. They're not pulling wool over our eyes. We know it's hatred. We know it's jealousy. And that is what it is. They're in denial. If it was Arsenal, if it was Liverpool are signing Florian Wirtz, right? Florian Wirtz scored 10 goals last season. Now, is that the price? Is that the numbers that you want to be seeing from a £150 million player? Is that the numbers you want to be seeing? 10 goals last season in the Bundesliga? Oh, why don't we look at that? Let's have a look at that. Why don't we look at Turkey as well? Why don't we look at Turkey, how he was doing it in France? You know, and I know that's an unfair argument. I know I rate Turkey in that. But the thing is, I know that's unfair argument. But that is exactly what these people are doing right now. Gyokeres has scored more goals than all of them combined. All of them combined. And then people want to talk about he's not good enough. I mean, who is good enough then? I would love to know who is good enough then. Who they're going to throw out at me. I will guarantee Gyokeres has better stats than them. I guarantee he's a better player than them. You know, they just want to throw in all this nonsense about, oh, he's just a glorified Rasmus Hojlund and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Number one, Rasmus is a 22-year-old, so leave that out. You know what I mean? Number two, you know, this guy, right? I've seen a lot of football in my life. I've seen a lot of strikers in my time supporting Manchester United, right? I've seen a lot of great strikers. I rate Gyokeres. And whoever gets Gyokeres, I hope it's us, but whoever gets him, he's going to be an absolute machine next season, right? And then whoever gets him, if we don't get him, we're going to be saying, we missed the boat on that one. We should have paid the money. Trust me. You know, when you're a striker, right? When you're a striker, you know where the goal is. If you're in Portugal, if you're in Italy, if you're in Spain, if you're in France, if you're in Holland, if you're in bloody Beirut, right? You know the goal shape and the size. If you're hitting that goal 49 times against quality opposition in Portugal, by the way, they're not rubbish at the end. They look at Portugal national team. They produce very good players, right? If you're scoring that many goals in a goal that is the same size as the Premier League, you've obviously got something about you, haven't you? You've always got something about you. And I just feel like this is a defense mechanism that they're trying to downplay Gyokeres. They're trying to downplay Mbeumo. They're trying to downplay Cunha. I think this is a saving face. It's a defense mechanism from the masses, from the rival fans, because they're not getting him. And that's it. But if Newcastle was signing Gyokeres, oh boy, you'd be seeing it. Newcastle are moving. Newcastle are cooking. Newcastle this, Newcastle that. You can't stop our shine. This is God's plan, homie. This ain't mine. Absolutely. As 50 Cent once said. Of course. Absolutely. Michael. Sal. Baleba will be an ideal midfield signing. Look, this is exactly what it is, Michael. Michael, football is subjective. You like Baleba. There's great players out there. I like Wharton. I like Baleba. I like all those players. Whatever we get, I'm going to trust what they do. I'm going to trust what players we get. And you know what? I'm not going to get upset and cry a river if Man United don't sign a Wharton or they don't get my favourite player. Because I know there's a lot of people who, if we don't sign their favorite player, you know what I mean? There you go. Sal, did you hear Crystal Palace do not enter the Europa League? It's a shame. It's not confirmed, Natty. It's rumours. It's not confirmed yet, but it is a possibility. If that happens, that's terrible. That's terrible, and that shows you where UEFA is at the moment. An absolute farce, basically. I would say that if Crystal Palace don't make it into Europe, give it to Brighton. Give it to Brighton. You know what I mean? There you go. Get the next team. But Crystal Palace deserve to be in Europe. And this is only typical of UEFA. This is what I'm talking about with UEFA. When it's English clubs, they want to throw the book. You know, if this was Italian, if this was Spain, if this was Portugal, if this was France, they wouldn't be doing this. You know, they know that English football is dominating at the moment. They know it. I know the Champions League football final wasn't between two English teams, but boy, it's going to be. Don't worry. The two other European finals were. You know, and look how many places we get in Europe. I think this is why that they're very bitter about it, of course. Speaking to Spurs, Anger got sacked. Yeah, Anger got sacked. You know what? It's not just about Anger's been there a couple of years and a half now, isn't he? So at the end of the day, he was bound to get sacked. You know, coming that place when he's had money spent on him. And look, at the end of the day, is it the fact that Spurs don't like winning trophies, and it's actually a contractual obligation to lose a final and not to win trophies that he got sacked? I don't know. Ange Postecoglou getting sacked. I mean, look, you know, Struth, mate, better go down the Ramsey Street, mate. No, you know what I mean? What I would say is that it's unfair, it's sad, but he did have a toxicity around him. He was falling out with fans. There was a lot of commotion going on with fans, arguments with fans, things like that. This was an accident waiting to happen. He was going to be sacked, but at least he left with a trophy, right? He'll be in Spurs folklore for the rest of eternity, right? But what I would say is that Spurs are no stranger to sacking people. Obviously, they sacked Jose Mourinho before a final. Jose Mourinho never lost a final at that stage. You know, that is Spursy, isn't it? That's Spursy. Look, when you're looking at Spurs, what are Spurs doing this summer? Still early in the summer window, but what are Spurs doing this summer? Nothing. So this is why there's a lot of hatred around Man United at the moment, the way Man United are going on with their business, you know. And that's what it is. And there is a lot of jealousy going on in regards to Manchester United at the moment, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Kenny. Tyborg. I would sell Hojlund in a blink of an eye. I would happily accept an unready Cheeto up front. Hojlund is not good enough, and we have to move on and improve. Tyborg, if I speak, I will be in trouble, my guy. If I speak, I will be in trouble. I am starting to think he's not good enough. I know he's young, but I am starting to think he's not good enough. And people know me, guys. I backed Hojlund to the hill and back. Guys, I just don't think he's good enough. But in his defense, what I would say is that he has been thrown in the deep end. But then again, if you can't swim at Manchester United, then you're not right for Manchester United at the end of the day. We need real characters at this football club. And unfortunately, you know, it's not working out for him. Inter Milan will be a fabulous, fabulous club for him. Go to Inter Milan, slower league, more suited to his style. He would do very, very well. And by the way, speaking of Italian football, Scott McTominay is in the rankings for the Ballon d'Or. He's in the rankings for the Ballon d'Or. Scott McTominay. There you go, guys. Absolutely. Shows you what a league can do, isn't it? You know, at the end of the day. So you find your right place, you find your home, and then, you know what? There you go. There you go. Big up, Scott. Sal, thoughts on Spurs sacking Postecoglou after winning trophy? As I said, Anvish, as I said, look, you know, congratulations on Ange Postecoglou winning the trophy. It's sad, but the toxicity around the Spurs fan base and the manager was far too much. There was too much going on around, and he's been there over 2 years. So he's been over 2 years, and he's coming 15th. It's not like Ruben Amorim who's been there 6 months. He's literally been there 2 years, you know, and he won them a trophy. Spurs obviously have high ambitions. I don't know what they are, because at the end of the day, they don't win trophies. But the toxicity, what I'm hearing is the toxicity between Ange Postecoglou and the fan base has got to a new low. And many of the fans want him out. And fair enough. One thing I would say about Ange Postecoglou is that he doesn't have a second way of playing. You know, if a better Man United would have beaten Tottenham 9 times out of 10 that final, we just were so toothless up front. It was unreal, you know. Sam Houston, good to see you. Thank you so much, my guy. I hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Afro Soup, big up, my friend. Morning, Sal. Yo, Beku, combo, looks terrible. Yeah, big up, Afro Soup. I do agree with that, mate. Absolutely, mate. As Natty said, if Palace are not allowed to enter Europa League, then we should try Matata as a backup striker too. I do think, look, I'm not one of those people. He's going to cost about 40 million, though, Anvish. It's going to be very difficult for Man United to do that. Man United need other positions. Man United need a midfielder. So if Man United get Gyokeres, we just got about enough for a midfielder. I would rather get a midfielder and keep Chido. Absolutely. Mateta is going to cost 50 million. It's insanity to buy Mateta and Gyokeres. It's insanity. Absolutely insanity. If we haven't got our midfield sorted out, we haven't got our goalkeeper sorted out, we got Chido Urban Martin, who I believe in, Musa, who I believe in, and we have Gyokeres, and those two young players can learn off that. It's not just about going out and buying players, and that's it. You've got to believe in the Man United youth, courage, and success. Remember that. It's not just about buying players, guys. Absolutely not. And especially a £50 million backup player. It's not going to happen. Gyokeres, Cunha, Mbeumo, Bruno, Ahmad. What an improvement to last season. Absolutely, Tybog. I agree with that, my friend. Absolutely. Delight, Prince Will. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Please tell Man United to go for Alex Beans. Alex Beans? Beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you... Absolutely. I'll let someone else fill up that gap. But yeah, absolutely. Alex Beans, never heard of him. Beans. Absolutely. Good be. Beans. I'm English at the end of the day. You know what? He's mentioned Beans. It's English. There you go. Absolutely. Martinez Ononi can play centre mid, you know. Yes, I do know that, Daniel. He played there for once or twice for Ajax, Daniel. He's not a specialist centre midfielder, which is why we've never deployed him there. But he can play that. He's played there once or twice for Ajax. He's done it before, but is in the Eredivisie. So it's a big difference, Daniel. Bottle Stacked makes me smile. Never liked the guy much. Sheer arrogance that bloke is. Yeah, mate. You know, but the problem is, Tybog, the worst thing that we did was lose to Ange Postecoglou. It was like that arrogance of that guy. You know, it's dumbfounded, you know, the arrogance of him. He's got the arrogance, you know, of prime Alex Ferguson, you know, but the ability of you know, Mr. Pulis of Stoke. Steve, good morning, my friend. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sal, in relation to top 4 next season, still think we'll be top 8. Goodness me. You often cite the days in 90s when the team had the physical ability to know the players are. That takes time, Sal. Mate, don't worry about it. We'll be top 4, Steve, and you won't forget this moment when I'm telling you Man United be top 4 next season, Steve. You will be forgetting this moment. You say, I didn't say that. But I guarantee you I said it because it's right here and it's recorded. You were next season, you'll be going like, oh, you know what? Sal was right, you know. I want an apology, Steve. If it happens, I want you to give me an apology in writing, right? You know what, Sal? You were right, Sal. Again, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I did say it at the end of the day, guys. I don't speak nonsense. I think this is going to absolutely overpower the Premier League. This is not the 1990s, Steve. You know, this league is very, very weak. Lots of snowflakes around. Very weak. Not very good. This is not even the best Liverpool side I've ever seen. I've seen better than the Liverpool sides in the 90s than I've done this one. You know what I mean? So don't worry. Don't stress. Sal's got this. I'm saying top 4. Absolutely. Big up. Top 8. Oh, goodness me. After that money spent, he'll get sacked. Cantona is the prime example of how one single player can change everything. Tybog, exactly. Not just the talent, but the charisma and the character is also very important. Tybog, this is why I always say that when you're talking about the top 10 players of all time in the Premier League, Cantona should always be in there because Cantona is not only changed Man United's fortunes and geared us and pushed us through to a first league title in 26 years, Cantona also nurtured those young players around him. Cantona nurtured the young players around him. If you ask any of those class of 92 who their biggest influence are, they would say Roy Keane and players like that, but top of the list will be Cantona. Beckham, Scholes would say Cantona. Cantona's the one who gave these players the confidence, you know, to express themselves on the pitch and do the extraordinary, you know, try things, shoot from distance, try this little bit of skill, try that pass for 40 yards, that sort of thing. Cantona was just an absolute monster, not least in 1996 when he won us the title basically almost single-handedly, you know, when we were coming back from 12 odd points down from Newcastle United, of course. So Cantona is absolutely correct, Tyborg. Cantona is the epitome of how one player can change the fortunes of a whole team. An absolute king. King, guys. And this is exactly what I'm saying. It just takes one spark to ignite something incredible. And I think Man United bringing in Mbeumo, bringing in Cunha, bringing in hopefully Gyokeres could ignite something quite beautiful. And you know what? we will be here. We will be here celebrating it. It'll be absolutely beautiful. Big up, Tybo. Great comment. Please tell Man United to go after Alex Bainer. I thought you said Alex Beans. I was like, who's Alex Beans, guys? I was like, who's Alex Beans? Am I thinking of her? I'm thinking of something. Does Mr. Bean have a son? I mean, I don't know, but it was like Alex Beans, Alex Buena of Sevilla. I know him. He's very good. He's very, very, very good, guys. Absolutely, a very good player. I totally concur, guys. I totally concur. Of course, we are linked to Jesus Rodriguez from Betis. I didn't bring him into the show yesterday, but we are linked to Jesus Rodriguez from Real Betis. Of course, very talented Spanish player as well. He's another one. Lots of talented Spanish players. Lots of talent in Spain. Absolutely. Natty, we have to make contact with Gyokeres before selling wise, otherwise we lose him. Don't worry, Natty. Hopefully we'll, of course. I met Mitrovic a couple of times. I understand he shouldn't be our priority, but he should be considered a very good player with a fighting spirit, and we need that very much. Tybo, people don't understand this. Tybo, you come from my generation, mate. You know what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, we need that grafter. One of the biggest plus points for Man United during the 2008 season was Tevez. We had Rooney, we had Ronaldo, but the grit of Tevez, even with Rooney to an extent, the grit of him, to get you through a game, to get you through the trenches and get you through games and win you games. That's what we did. Because last season, we didn't lose games 3-4-0 majority of the time. We lost games by 1 goal, And if you converted those games into wins, we would have been far up the league, And I think, but players like Tevez or players like, obviously, Mitrovic, would that be absolutely fire for Man United, I think. I think they will. I wanted him before he left Fulham. Before he left Fulham, I said Mitrovic. Get Mitrovic. They didn't do it. Leeson, we're just scaring at seeing Amram signings comes through their door. Absolutely, Leeson. I hope so, my friend. Sal is the enemy territory. Sal is in enemy territory. Yeah, I am indeed. Absolutely. Yeah. I do go past Yaz. I go to Yaz Island quite a lot. I do pass the Manchester City megastore. Just think, everything I'm saying is the opposite. It's jam-packed. Everything I'm saying is the opposite. It's absolutely empty. Guys, Phoenix, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing? Sancho 15, Garnacho 45, plus sell on clause, Rashford 30 to 40, Binder 5, Malacia 5, Anthony 30 to 35, total 140 plus. Athletic said we can spend 140 million on sales. Yes, mate. We're there, mate. We're going to get 200 million, actually. Not that much. I said 200 million weeks ago. But big up, Vinny. Thank you so much for joining the stream. We have got money, Vinny. One thing I say, Man United have money. Man United have an opportunity to make money. I know that a lot of people are coming here on this channel hoping that the world burns. They were talking about how we've got no money. We've got nothing. And, and I told you guys that we do have money, It was a manipulation tactic. And I did say that, at the end of the day. We wouldn't be spending all this money if... What attitude? False narrative. What attitude? What are you talking about, Guddy? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. What's going on, Guddy? What attitude? You know what I mean? False narrative. Whose attitude, Goddy, should I say? Morning, Timo. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big up. Daniel, man, Asta, Spurs more than 5. Oh, okay, yeah. Daniel, I got you, bruv. I got you now. Yes, that's embarrassing for Arsenal. Arsenal can't talk at the moment. Arsenal are in a very, very bad place at the moment. They're in a very bad place. They cannot talk to Liverpool. They cannot talk to Tottenham, Big up, Fanatic 8. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is good with you. Thank you so much for joining. Again, legend, of course. Leeson, we should sign Stassin and Kamara and loan them back to their team. We can't do that, Leeson. We can't do that. We need players now. We ain't got a big squad. We're going to be getting rid of a lot of players. Let's not do that. You would waste money, Leeson, right? Let me get this clear. You would waste money buying Stassin and Kamara to loan them back. You would, when we haven't got much money, right? You would get rid of Stassin and Kamara, right? You buy them. You'll buy Stassin and Kamara, which is fair enough. Okay. Right. Let's not forget, we got Chido and we got Musa, all right, in regards to Stassin. But you would buy them both, right? and then loan them back to their club, even though we haven't got much money. Stassin and Kamara are going to cost about 50 million, if not more. So you would, let me just clear this up. This is totally up to you, right? You would get those two players, spend 50 million when we can buy a midfielder, 10 million more, we could probably get Wharton, and then you will loan them back to their club. Okay. Each to their own. Goodness me. More finals than Arsenal in 5 years. That's what Daniel meant. Absolutely. Yeah, it wasn't written. I didn't read it properly. Big up Sal. That arrogant manager is gone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anvish, season 3 is better than season 2. Yeah, mate, you are not having that one. No, season 3. I've never seen a better season 3 than season 1 and season 2, but there you go. Sal, you watch the fans base and now forgive Ineos for the transfer window. Sal, you watch the fan base will now forgive Ineos. I don't, John O'Connell, because at the end of the day, John, let me tell you something about this, right? This is Man United money. You know, this is Man United money. This is not money coming out of the pockets of the Glazers of Ineos. This is what Man United should be doing. You know what I mean? This is what Man United should be doing. I don't forgive them. They've got a lot to prove to me at the end of the day. Look, what they're doing now is what they should be doing. Right, at the end of the day. Now, imagine we had a full sale and we didn't have the debt. Imagine what we could be doing. Gyokeres and these players would be through the door already. You know what I mean? And the players that we needed to go would have been gone already. But you know what? There we go. Season 3 main character died. Yeah, like what is it? Walking Dead. Wirtz is a very good player, but no way he's worth 100 plus million. Yeah, I agree with that, Tyberg. I agree 100%. I don't think he's 100 million pound player. Here we go, coming today. I hope so. Soham Panda, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Our records will be taken, but we are more Pepsi. Reebok is copied now. PSG manager. I liked it. Big up, Daniel. I don't get your grammar, Daniel, but big up, Daniel, anyway. Yeah. Some people say Osman is more suited than Gyokeres. Did they forget Gyokeres for Amarim? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Don't listen to it, mate. Liverpool still did not sign the Brat Wirtz. It's not through. It's a lot of money, isn't it? Wirtz is a good player. He's worth around 70 million. Yeah, we know that. Absolutely. DSC. I totally agree, Sal. No matter what league, the back of the net is still the same. DSC, there you go. And if you're scoring that many goals, there's obviously something about you, isn't there? You know what I mean? I think Cherky is a good player than Wirtz, in my opinion. Let's wait and see, Natty. Let's wait and see. Good morning, Gaza. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Always driving when I listen to you, the channel during the week. Big up, Gaza. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Great name, of course. Big up. Sorry, I mean, at the end of the day, you're listening to me, so really appreciate that, mate. And thank you so much. Very, very, very appreciated, my friend. Very, very appreciated. Cherky to Man City pains, but it is what it is. More on with the targets. Anyway, we needed more experience with Premier League. Proven, absolutely, Anvish. And I want to know what's going on with Man City, because at the end of the day, they seem to be spending all this money, but no repercussions. What's going on, you know? DSC. Bruno had worked in the pocket in the Portuguese. Absolutely. There you go. Young player, though. I would give him his credit. Baba Flossie, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're good. Would you sell both Rashford and Rasmus to Arsenal for 100 million? Yes, I would, Baba Flossie. If Colesberg made football transfers, that would be it, Baba Flossie. That would be it. But I doubt it will happen. Absolutely. 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 Big up, Tyborg. Absolutely. Gifted one membership. Thank you so much, Tyborg. You absolute legend. He's giving it to Kenny. Big up, Kenny. Welcome to the family, the membership family. Of course, big up yourself, Kenny. Kenny, I saw you last night watching those two other duds on that other channel, mate. Should ignore that, mate. Ignore that. They're not real, mate. They're chancers. They're frauds, mate. I'll tell you right now. Get off them channels, mate. Honest to God, Kenny. Enjoy it, Kenny. You deserve it, and I'm glad you got it. Thank you so much, Tyborg. You're a legend, mate. Love you to bits, mate. Thank you so much. Juma Emmanuel, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Hope Brian Dill is done. I can't wait to see him play in Man United jersey. It's nearly done, Juma. We're just waiting for that all important. Here we go, isn't it? I'm waiting for it. Everyone's waiting for it. People waiting in the wings, of course. Absolutely. Leeson. Apparently, Brentford manager will be the new top Spur manager. Yeah, good for them. Good move for them. Seems like the Ange, the season 3 production has been cancelled. Gory Man United. I think it should be cancelled. I think they need to move on from that. It's a bit like the Empire. Not the Empire. What was that? The Messiah. I used to like that series called The Messiah. You remember The Messiah? And it disappeared. It never came back again. Did Matata just extend his deal at Palace? Heard it somewhere. Might be wrong. Can't be buying 50, 60 million pound backup players. No way. Alex Buena. Yeah. Like the Incredible Hulk. Mr. Buena, you know. The more you bigger and big up. Saviour, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hojlund, Garnacho, Sancho, Rashford, Malacia, Anthony, Luke, Shaw, Onana. Sell those players and bring in Cunha. He's here. Cunha's already here. Mbeumo, Gyokeres, Edison, Wharton, Branthwaite, and a new goalkeeper. Saviour, my guy. I mean, you don't ask for much, do you? You don't ask so much, do you, Saviour? I mean, Saviour, that would be lovely. It would be absolutely beautiful. It would be lovely, but I think it's unrealistic to get that many deals done. You're talking about agent fees, money, accepting, doing deals between the two clubs. Takes time. Look how long this deal for Gyokeres is taking, for Mbeumo is taking. If we do that, Saviour, if we manage to do all that, we're not going to buy Wharton and Edison. That's going to cost 100 million, number one. 100 plus million, 120, I would have thought, 260s. Branthwaite's going to be about 40. That's going to be, what, 160 million, you know? A new goalkeeper is going to be another 40. That's going to be 200 million. And that's even before we start talking about Gyokeres and Mbeumo and already signed Cunha. I know, Saviour, I would love that too. If we had Qatar ownership, maybe we could do that. Unfortunately, we don't, so we can't do that, unfortunately. But big up, Saviour, you absolute legend. Thank you for joining, my friend. Absolutely. IK, what's going on? Happiness. Love the name. I've watched Kone and he has so much potential. I think he could be promoted to the first team. Ike, my friend, I like Kone. I like what I've seen. He's got a natural ability. He's got, like, you know what he has, what other players don't have? He has this radar around where he knows what's going on around him. He's got the ball. He's passing it forward, not backwards. He passes it forward. That's what I like about Kone. And I really do hope that he can make a stand next season. I really like him, and I hope he does. I mean, obviously, highly talented, and we need midfielders. Why don't we give him an opportunity in the League Cup, the FA Cup, and all this? See what he can do, isn't it, at the end of the day? Hello, Albie. What's going on, my friend? Albie Burrows, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you very much for joining me, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, Sanjay. Good morning. Hope you're good. Of course, Mitrovic, another Premier League proven player. Wouldn't mind him as a backup. Me neither. That's the type of player you get as a backup, Kenny. Not Mateta. You know what I mean? That is the type of player you get as a backup. Absolutely. Big up, Steve. Big up, Tyborg, of course. Big up. Job, Samuel, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Good morning, British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're good. Good to see you as well. Saviour, when we sell 6 players, we'll buy 5, 6 players and finish top 4. Saviour, come on, my guy. We got this, man. Next season, you know all that pain we suffered this season, mate? You know all that pain we suffered this season, all that banter we suffered this season? We're going to get our own back, mate. We're going to get our own back. You are the saviour. We are the saviour. Man United are going to be the saviour. Absolutely. We're going to do it. Absolutely. Emi Martinez exchange for Stretford. I'll take it all day long. Absolutely, Daniel. I would take it all day long. Beware the wounded sleeping giant. Beware the wounded beast, Leeson, as well. Beware the wounded beast, as I've always said. Beware the wounded beast. Steve. Still early in the morning for me, guys. Still trying to change Sal's views about top 4, though we may play much better this season and the watch-alongs will be much better. Thank you, Steve. I know, Steve. And hopefully, Steve, you'll be going watch a lot more times than you do. You know what I mean? At the moment. Nowadays, it's like trying to squeeze water from a stone, especially in the Europa League final. All I wanted from you, Steve, was watch or go, something like that. You know what I mean? It didn't happen, unfortunately. Anvish. Chido, as an understudy to Gyokeres, will be good for his development. Absolutely. Also, I think Xerxes being different profile than Gyokeres helps us a lot. With Xerxes, Cunha, and Mbeumo can swarm the box more. And also, Xerxes can drop deep as well. He had something different as well. He can drop deep and he can get into those tight little pockets. That is good. And then when you've got great players around you, it makes other players look even better, doesn't it? And it creates space for other players as well. This is what I'm excited about, especially the fact that Mbeumo and Cunha are 2-footed. They're 2-footed. So it's very exciting stuff, you know? Very exciting stuff. Why the heck would we still forgive Ineos? They facilitate absolutely. I think some people are getting a little bit overly giddy. Of course, it's not about money or trophies. The club was always classy, always throughout our history. We have no class anymore. That's the main thing. We have lost thanks to the ownership. Ineos have got worse. British Bulldog. I agree, brother. I agree. Absolutely 100%. It's not the same. Boniface, you don't play for Leverkusen anymore, Boniface. What's going on? Hi, Sal. I think we need to bring in more players in right wing back and Mbeumo back up because of AFCON. I agree, Boniface. Right wing back is a priority. Right wing back is a priority. Timo is the new member, a new chatterboxer. Big up, Timo. Thank you so much for joining the family. Guys, don't forget to become a member. We got some great material coming in the summer. You guys, mad material coming in the summer in regards to the memberships. Thank you so much to everyone who's become a member. Thank you, Timo, for becoming a member. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. Thank you so much. My guy deserves an explosion. There you go. Thank you. Big up Timo for becoming a member. Natty. Our rival ready for Mbeumo, Cunha and Gyokeres. Our rival ready for Mbeumo, Cunha and Gyokeres. They're not ready. They're crying about it. At the moment, all I see is crybabies. All I see is some crybabies talking about how it's not going to work, how we're not going to do it. Absolutely. Antoine, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I feel like the club will swoop in and sign Gyokeres while United are still waiting. Oh, Antoine, you brought a bit of a downer to the proceedings today, mate. This morning for me, you brought a bit of a downer. I hope not, Antoine. I hope not. I hope not. That's all I can say. I hope we get it done. What I would say is that Ruben Amorim and Gyokeres has been speaking quite consistently over the last few weeks and months. They speak very regularly, guys. Big up, Pearl. You're driving as well. My goodness me. Good. Hopefully my voice doesn't put you off. Driving, of course. Tyberg still has 115 charges against them. And meanwhile, they have spent 380 million in the last 6 months. The whole thing is corrupted. Tyberg, it's a farce, mate. It's an absolute farce. FFP, PSR is an absolute myth, Tyberg. It's an absolute myth. All this news about PSR and stuff like that, it's just I mean, someone said something to me the other day that they're trying to lower Man United and build up other teams, you know what I mean, in regards to PSR and FFP, in particular Man City. You know what I mean? How can you how can you have 115 charges and spend 380 million in 6 months, guys? And not to mention the money they spent the summer before. No one's going to tell me this isn't corrupt, mate. No one's going to tell me this isn't corrupt. It's absolutely corrupt. Tyborg. Welcome aboard, Timo. You are from Germany, maybe your name. Timo Werner, absolutely. Well, I'm Timo Werner. I'm Timo Werner. I'm a Werner. I am. Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Tyborg. Big up yourself. The midfield market is so dry. Baleba and Walton could possibly be 100 million quid each. Edison is going to Saudi. I'm really interested to see what we'll do. Maybe we'll look for in the next window. I do believe, Antoine, that not every single bit of deal is going to be done this summer, this window. I do believe that a lot of the deals are going to be done next season. Ruben Amorim has already confessed this, that a lot of the deals will be done next season. Not everything is not going to be done now. I know that people are going to be very impatient and that, but it's just the way it is. Like, if we get Gyokeres, Cunha, and Mbeumo, then you know what? It's a good start, isn't it? Aisha, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Aisha Kottel. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining Stretford Post. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big up. Can I call you Pang? Good. Big up, Pang. How you doing? Good morning, my friend. I hope you're doing well, guy, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And welcome everyone who's new to the stream, guys. Really appreciate you all. Of course, Dave. Loving the hate because Man United is big news. Absolutely, Dave. Hated, adored, never ignored, of course. Absolutely. Ika, happiness. Thanks for your time. We United family. Appreciate you for Nigeria. Big up my Nigerian family. Absolutely love Nigerian. Absolutely. Big up. Big up everyone around the world, in Africa, in America, in Asia. Absolutely love you guys. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Tyberg. The amount of abuse I've got from my colleagues in the last couple of years is scary. Thank God I'm their boss. They can't go over the line. Our times are coming. That's not good enough. You're fired. You're fired. What did you say about Man United? You're fired. That's it. Big up, Collins. How you doing, my friend? Good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Albie, what are the chances we get a massive clear out this window like Amram did this first year? He got about, wasn't it 17 to 25 players out, Albie, I think. He got about 17 to 25 players out. I hope so. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because obviously the wages are a lot higher. A lot of these players. Look at Luke Shaw, for example, earning 200 bags a week, right? He's got 2 years left. Just under 2 years left on his contract. We're going to have to pay off that contract. Can you imagine? It's madness, isn't it? Do you think Istapion is injury prone? I do. I also think we don't need a left back, Antoine. I think we got enough. Saviour, thanks very much. I'm following you, sir. You have opened my mind, and I get you. I don't sleep or eat when my team loses. I hope next season we will start winning games for Man United. Saviour, you know what? You have to. You can't appreciate the sunshine until you felt a little bit of rain. You know, that's what I would say. There's always light at the end of the tunnel for a club like Man United, and our moment will come. The cream always rises to the top, and it will be us again. You know, we will be bantering them. Don't worry, we'll be there before Arsenal. Absolutely. Kyle, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hear me out. A cheeky bid for Jack Grealish at the end of the window. If we've moved on rail players and have some extra cash. It's not the worst choice in the world. He hasn't worked out for him at Man City as much as we thought, but it depends how much he's going to cost, Carl, you know? But for Man City to Man United is a little bit tricky. Good morning, beautiful Reds. Big up, Eric. How you doing, my friend? Show Sal watching from South Africa. Hopefully we can get Mbeumo done today. Let's hope so, Eric. And big up South Africa. Hope you're doing well down there, my friend. Hopefully I'll visit very, very soon as well. Big up. Percival, Sovereign, big up, my friend. Do you know every time there's a GTA coming out, United have won the league? Yes, I've heard about that. I have heard that. It's very interesting, to be honest, guys. Yeah, it's very interesting. Get into TK and Cisco, and we are serious. Gyokeres isn't the one for me. He's in the right places. He won't fit half the numbers. There we go, guys. Well, he done it in the Champions League, Common Pence. You have to give him credit for that, but that's your opinion. Football is subjective. Common Pence, football is subjective. Given, what's going on, my friend? Big up, bro. We need more quality players. We do, Given, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some through the door very, very soon. Good morning, Frey, you legend. Hope you're doing well. And also, Ali, what's going on? Thank you, sir, for your good hard work. Thank you, my guy, for your great custom, or not custom, but presence. Should I say presence? That's it. Your presence means a lot. Thank you so much, my friend. Big up, everyone, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. That is it for today, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please, please, please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. You're all absolute legends, absolute diamonds. Thank you so much. Have a great day, great night. I will be back for Chatterbox later. And also, guys, I will be doing the watch along for Andorra against England tonight. So you can watch that for me. I will be live around 7. Is it 7? What time? 4:45. I think it's 4:45 English time, UK time. So I will be doing it England against Andorra again, but I am live later on. Get your notifications on. So when I go live, you would say it. Big up the new member, Timo. Big up yourself. Thank you so much, my guy. And guys, don't forget to join me from when I go live. Absolute diamonds. Take it easy. I'll see you soon. Peace.